Hi guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles. Welcome to another exporting results struggle. In this series of videos, we're working on improving the amount of information we put in our regression output. And so far what we've done is we've added in the mean price and the standard deviation of price, or a dependent variable. We've added in, just in the last video, the number of clusters if we're doing cluster robust standard errors. You can also think of this as the number of groups, the number of brands in our regression. And now in this last part of this mini series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can alter the format of these scalars. Now, why might that be helpful? Well, you can see, for instance, that the number of clusters is a whole number and it's displayed as 23.00, which isn't super great. Maybe I also want an additional decimal place on R squared. Maybe I want an additional decimal place on the mean and standard deviation, or just one of the two. For the dependent variable, I just want control over the format of these scalars, so that's what I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this from table 2 to table 3, where you can see that I've added an additional decimal place for mean and standard deviation. Again, I could do just one of them or both of them. The number of observations, the number of groups are both whole numbers, and R squared has a third decimal place on it. Again, we're going to be able to do all of that independently of the other scalars. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so here is the code, and I'm just going to rerun the same part that we did before, because nothing about how we're running the regressions is different. The only thing that I need to do is add in this if e sample right here, like I did in the last video. And again, if you're just tuning in now, feel free to look back at the last two videos that I posted just to catch up, and it'll also show you some helpful information about adding these scalars to your regression table. But now, here we are, and what I'm going to do is notice that I'm switching from scalars to stats. Means the same thing, I just have a bit more options when I use stats in terms of formatting. So if I really wasn't worried about formatting, scalars is just fine. But with stats, I just have a little more control about what my output looks like. So you can see that I've just listed the stats or the scalars that I want to include. And notice that this label is now just a one-to-one match with the order that I put stats in. So this is the label for mean, this is the label for the second one, or standard deviation, and all the way down until controls. Now notice that I can also do this format option, so you have all the stata formats available to you. I talk about stata formats in a different video, but all you need to know is this is 3 decimal places fixed, this is 3 decimal places, this 0 just means whole number, 0 means whole number, and 9.3f. And then I don't put a format in for controls because it's a text variable. So what you can see is what I'm doing now is I'm just making these zeros to make them whole numbers. But again, I could make this one like a 2, I could make this one say a 4, and I could make this R squared maybe like a 1, just for fun. And so now when I rerun this, I'm just going to run this top to bottom, and I'm going to pop open this LaTeX file. I'm going to pull it over from my other screen just so we can look at it. And you can see that all of these decimal places are different. The number of obs and number of groups are whole numbers. Control still says yes, exactly like we want it to. And so this is a fully formatted table. And you can see that the format for these scalars are independent. You can make them whatever you want, which is really helpful when you're putting them into a table and trying to make that table as readable as possible. So if you've got questions, or you think this video was super helpful to you, or if you've actually used this in your data work, please leave a comment below. Please like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time for another case of Econ Struggles.